Hello, my name is Joshua Covington. This is my project for graphical user interface. This is the presidential voting machine. Uh, it was created to allow the user to be able to choose their candidate of choice seamlessly without confusion or hindrance as far as their vote. So this page is the first page that the user will see when entering the application. It just lists the pictures of each current candidate that's running for their respectful parties. Okay, and once, as it says in the label, click on the candidate picture to cast your vote. Once the user clicks on a picture, they will be taken to, I call it, your confirmation screen. And this screen simply displays the person that the user voted for, and it allows the user to go forward to see who actually won their candidate's primary. When clicking upon that button, See Primary Winners, they will be taken to the next screen, which is the primary winner form. And this screen will show both the Republican nominee and the Democratic nominee for the candidates who won their party's nominee. When creating this program, it proved to be a little bit difficult because I was not experienced with converting images to strings, or even if that was possible, I wasn't exposed to that within the book itself, or just doing other exercises didn't expose me to that. So I had to do a lot of research on how to convert images, basically to respond to buttons and clicks of that nature, which really I had to scrap this program about 3 times before finally settling on this to submit on this last part. Learn how to make my pictures clickable and allow them to interact with the other forms rather than writing a lot of lines that would basically just bog down the application itself. I found there were a lot of useful tools that were already implemented in this software from Microsoft that proved to be a great help to me in designing this application. So without further delay, let me run the program, start the program. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, the user will be confronted with the application page, which allows them to choose their candidate. Click on the candidate picture to cast your vote. And let's say I want to vote for Bernie Sanders. Okay. Click on Bernie Sanders, and immediately the person I voted for, his picture appears, and then it allows me to see my party's winner. So see primary winner. Who won the primary for the Democratic Party? Let's see. And it shows Hillary Clinton actually won the Democratic nominee for the Democratic Party, and Donald Trump did as well. Okay, there is a bit of a caveat to this. There is a way that you can have multiple winners, and I did not find a way to use the randomize these winners in the book, and I did a great research online. And when it comes to pictures, this software is not very user friendly when it comes to converting pictures and randomization and all that. But anyway, I have to admit I did fix this. So let's get to the code. So here is the code for the presidential primary page. It simply displays the pictures are visible and the labels are visible. And I found this neat way over to bypass converting a button into a picture, or a checkbox for that matter, or a radio dial. All those are very good tools, but when trying to use them to they don't play well, if I can say that. They don't play well with other code as far as converting images. Anything else, they work perfectly. But when it comes to converting images, they usually do not work correctly, or as you would think they would. If you're familiar with coding with Java or anything of that nature, or even Swift for that matter. So here I found this pretty neat tool that allows you to use your mouse, and here's the code that just basically allows you to click on the image, and it will take you to the next page. Very useful tool. Bypassed a lot of time, a lot of loops, a lot of unnecessary writing. This was already programmed in the software, which I found to be a great asset. Also, I added some mouse up, mouse down buttons. There was a problem putting. It comes out that there is no such thing as a pop-up or hover. Like if you move your mouse over something, it's gonna cause it to hover above or get larger. That is not a part of this software. So yeah, I found that out. So that was one thing I had to scrap as well. There were some ways, some loopholes to get around that, but it proved to be very, very labor intensive. And I tried it, and it really did not work. So that's the code for the presidential page that the user is greeted with. And on here's the code for the next page that they'll be taken to. Let me get back to that page. Here we go. And here's the code for this page. Now this code was it was pretty simple, but again it proved to be a little tricky when having the code respond to the last page. And this is where the caveat comes in. Again, I created these variables and declarations just to use local variables to choose who will be the winner. And I allowed the user to do that. But in this, and it can be changed, the user can change this in the code if he or she desires to. But what I did was fix the candidate. I did this because, be honest, I feel like it's already rigged. I'm not saying in reality, it seems to be that the candidates that we have right now are set in stone. It basically reflects the current reality of the democratic process that we're currently in. Regardless if the people vote for a person, it really doesn't matter. It matters how many delegates vote for the actual candidate. And we see that today. Bernie Sanders have so many votes, or Donald Trump has so many votes, but the delegates will actually vote, whoever moves them the best, and it really nullifies the average citizen's vote. So I made it to reflect reality. Excuse me for being a little bit political in this process, but why not? And finally, the last page for the primary winners. The code for that is pretty simple. It just displays the candidate of choice, the candidate vote, and again, as I said, I set those to be that value on purpose to just, I guess, my own little way of protest. I guess I don't know, but this is my program, and believe me when I tell you, I scrapped this thing 3 times. I scrapped it 3 times. Just researching and finding out that there were things that I really wanted to do with the random picks. You can do that, but you have to do it in a way that it would have totally destroyed my original design. And that is why I went with this one. So I thank you for taking the time and opportunity to view my program and project. I hope that it is of use to you. I hope that it was delightful. And once again, thank you. And don't forget to get out and vote. And yeah.